Recording day.
Recording day.
We like recording days.
Recording day.
That's all going in at the beginning.
Oh yeah, massively so.
Astronauts from the British space... I'll start that again. Astronauts from the British space programme find a giant spaceship. Sharped, like it. Sharped?
Sharped?
Jesus.
Oh.
The decision to make these humanoids back to Earth, The decision is made to bring these humanoids back to Earth, which leads to near-apocalyptic... Bloody hell. Not good.
What is going on today? O'Bannon had also written and directed The Return of the Living Dead, another movie well known for its excessive female nudity and gore. That's probably going to be the caption.
And a massive pair of boobs in the background.
The film studio that also brought us the likes of Masters of the Universe, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Start that again. The Quest for Pissed.
The Quest for Pissed. I mean, with Canon films, I mean, they were sort of quite hands-on, and then other times they weren't sort of hands-on. When they came to sort of doing the Alan Quatermain movies, I believe it was Menahem Golan who was... they got like Richard Chamberlain into the Alan Quatermain, and then to get his like female lead in, they said, "Oh, get me that stone woman." Well, people thought he meant Sharon Stone. What he actually meant was, "Get me the woman who was in Romancing the Stone." And he didn't realise Kathleen Turner, and he didn't realise it was Sharon Stone until later on when the film was being screened, and he basically turned to the director and basically said, "Who the fuck is that?" So
and that's probably one of the most tamer stories when talking about Golan and Globus, to be honest with you. At the beginning of Canon's life, they did sort of groundbreaking movies about, bringing in sort of city culture and hip-hop and sort of rap and what have you. At the end of Canon's life, they made movies about the Lambada.
Yeah. In fact, at one point, they did two films about it.
Because Golan and Globus had a falling out.
They did, so they went off their own separate way. If that motherfucker's going to make a film about the Lambada, I'm going to make a film about the Lambada too.
And they were in a race to see who got their Lambada film out first. Now, this brings us nicely, keep this in mind, this brings us nicely to Mark Hartley. Mark Hartley is an Australian filmmaker. And Mark Hartley is the documentary filmmaker that made Electric Boogaloo, the wild and untold story of Canon films. Whilst he was making this, Golan and Globus got wind of the fact that they were making this, and then they made their own film about their story, The Go-Go Boys.
And they actually managed to get those out about 2 days before Electric Boogaloo. They never took no for an answer. Canon was trying to get Sylvester Stallone for Over the Top. Stallone's agent was telling them, "My client will not work for you, not even for $10 million. To which Golan turned around and said, "Okay, so we get him for $12 million.
And all the way through this review, I haven't made mention of this, but every time my good friend and colleague, Mr. Dave Mabbers here, he's putting on Golan's voice, and it's wonderful.
Well, to be honest, every time someone was telling a story about him in the Electric Boogaloo documentary,
they do actually do
the voice
of him, which is brilliant.
Who the fuck is that? We have a better idea now. What's funny though is that they were always planning to do a Masters of the Universe 2.
Yes.
Which is why Skeletor pops his head up at the end and goes, "I'll be back."
He wasn't.
They were planning on doing that as well as doing Spider-Man as well.
Yes.
Now they paid about $2 million for the license for both of these. They didn't actually know what Spider-Man was at the time. They thought it was like a horror movie, like The Wolfman. So they started building sets already for Masters of the Universe 2 and for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And in the end, obviously, those films never happened. They both got scrapped. And all the sets and costumes ended up getting used in a Jean-Claude Van Damme film called Cyborg. Which did quite well, made them about $10 million.
It did actually, yeah.
Which is what they really needed at the time.
Although, to be fair, however, I do love a good Mission Impossible film. I'm looking forward to Mission Impossible Fallout, only because I want to see Henry Cavill unaltered.
With the tash.
With tash.
Yeah.
Actually, very, very small digression on the Henry Cavill sort of side of things as well.
Hang on, Cavill face.
What the? Man from Uncle. I really liked Man from Uncle. I really thought it was good. Showed it to my dad because my dad was a big fan of the TV series. He was part of the fan club. He even had his own triangular badge.
Wow.
From the UNCLE.
Dedicated.
Yeah, really dedicated when he was about 8 years old or however it was. Really like it. What can I say? I'm a fan of Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin. Moving swiftly back to Lifeforce.